Everything is love.
Everything is love. What is love, though?
Everything.
Mm.
I mean, that sounds so, but it is. It is the culmination
Hmm.
of all of the things God feels necessary to make his point.
Mm. Welcome to Mental Shampoo with your host, Kimar Cain. Join me as we explore life's big questions, the unique perspectives of intriguing creators and artists. You're ready to unravel the art of living right here on Mental Shampoo. Yo, what's happening, man? It's Kimar Cain coming to you all the way live. Your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend. You are tapped in and wrapped in with Mental Shampoo Season 3. Listen, Season 3, who would have thunk it, right? But listen, we're talking to artists and the art that they make, okay? And the reasons behind them, and just want us to learn more about the person, the artist themselves. And I have a very special guest, all right? A very special friend of mine, Amanda Furdge, okay? Y'all give it up for Amanda one time for the one time. What's going on, Amanda?
Oh my goodness. Do you hear all of those imaginary claps and spurs? That's
Yes.
my cousin.
Yo,
That's my cousin. Yes.
let me tell y'all right now, this conversation right here, again, this is a great friend of mine. She is an amazing spirit. And honestly, like I would deem you a guardian angel in my
Oh.
life because you really helped me out in a big way spiritually. Like every time I talk to Amanda about some stuff, she'd be like, "Well, have you read your Bible? Have you,
You didn't pray about it?
you know what I'm saying?
Did you
Have you
pray
prayed
about it?
in real life?" And it's like I need that. I need that discipline. You know what I mean? So I am forever grateful and forever indebted to you. Grateful to call you friend
Mm.
and grateful to be in this space with you on today.
Oh my goodness.
So what's up? Tell the people something about
Wow, you really just put it to me. You really just had me sitting up in here crying tears and
you.
then
Literally,
you know
y'all.
what I'm saying? And it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Amanda. So thank you for having me.
Yes, yes.
I feel so impressed.
Mm,
And I don't mean that in the um way that you have blown my mind. I
mhm,
mean that you have impressed upon me
mhm.
a sense of gratitude.
Yes.
I'm really grateful for.
Man, praise God.
So I feel so impressed.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I'm also impressed. Lights, camera, action.
Shout out to Kid KD
You know what I'm
Creative. Yeah,
saying?
man.
So thank you for that. I done forgot the question.
It's
What
all
was it?
good. Just
Yeah.
a little bit about you, but
Oh,
we gonna tap in though. Who is
yeah.
Amanda Furdge? Straight out of Jacktown. We
Jackson.
go down.
Jackson, Mississippi. Well, my name's Amanda, and I was born in Jackson,
Okay.
but I was raised between Jackson and the Mississippi Delta.
Delta, the mighty
Yes, I
Mississippi Delta, some may
love
say.
the Mississippi Delta.
Come on.
I was born in 1988, so
Mm.
that's important these days for context.
Okay.
So when you
Why?
think,
Why is that?
so when you think of the year and you think of the world that informed it,
Mm-hmm.
you can have more context as you enter into relationships with people, conversations with people,
Okay.
experiences with people. It's
Yes.
important to know that my kid was born in 2013.
Okay.
So for me, born in 1988,
Okay.
his experience is different from my
Sure.
experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So our expectations are different.
Okay.
I expect to communicate with him a different way.
Mhm.
I expect him because he said things like, "Were there dinosaurs when you were a kid?"
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So I expect that when I'm explaining the world around him, he's probably thinking or visualizing dinosaurs
Yeah.
or, you know what I'm saying? Which is
Yeah.
different from his grandma visualizing spaceships when she talks to him because she
Mhm.
was born in the 50s, 30s, 40s. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I just said 1988. So when you go and Google who Amanda Furdge is,
Mhm.
then you go back and Google 1988
Mhm.
and beyond, you'll see what informs Amanda Furdge.
Wow.
You'll see what I come up in.
Yeah.
You'll see the eras of my poetry, of my womanhood,
Yeah.
of my style.
Yeah. You fly.
Of my you know,
Yes,
I think
Lord.
about Denzel in The Preacher's Wife.
Yeah.
He was a guardian angel too.
For sure.
He was fine when, yes, Denzel. He was fly. That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
So angels can be fly. But so you'll get more context into like how I can see things certain ways or why I have empathy for certain situations because you will understand the eras that I come up in. I came up with a little bit of black on TV.
Okay.
You know, we had Showtime at the Apollo Saturday night after the news went off. Showtime, you know? But we also had Full House and Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Boy Meets World.
Yeah. Come on, Topanga.
You know what I'm saying? Who else was on there? Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah.
And that was a part of us because that's what we had. So we understand the world a little differently. We relate to the world a little differently than my children who, ever since we got black on TV, I'm like, put it on some black. Even though they go to school with other cultures and other things, it's a different way that I can help curate the culture.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it matters to know, like, I came through dial-up. It matters to know that when I don't go crazy when my kids say the internet off. The internet can be off. That's fine.
It's okay. Welcome back to reality.
But I also understand why for him, who has been internet every day of his life, he's going nuts because the internet is off. So that's what I'm saying. It's important to know like context when you're having conversations with people.
I have never heard nobody talk about their birth year in such a way.
I'm so sorry. But it's important.
No, that was beautiful.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
I enjoyed that.
But I just mean I started at 1988 and beyond.
Okay.
And that is who you see and experience. You experience somebody who experienced Hurricane Katrina.
Yep.
You experience somebody who experienced 9/11.
Yep.
You experience somebody who experienced Barack Obama in the White House. Also experienced Donald Trump in the White House. I've been in the pandemic.
Yeah.
I also didn't have to get chicken pox.
Yeah.
Because I was vaccinated. Because that's what they was doing at the time. You know what I'm saying? And all of that matters when you try to understand my style of writing, my style of being in community with people. People wonder, like, how are you in every space with everybody? White folk, black folk, Mexican, Arabs, the nuns, the priest. She at the jail. She on the south side.
Nobody's a stranger for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just because I'm informed by what I experienced as a time in our culture and in our generation where it was harvest time. When you look at like hip hop, when you look at like what our movies look like now,
Yeah, man.
what our literature reads like now.
Yes.
Like this part in our culture was so beautiful and, well, you know, for the sake of this for art's sake, was so, you know, the experience you got inspired me.
Yeah.
And that inspiration is what got me here. Like,
oh my God.
So cool.
Give it up
and
for
my
Amanda.
kids can watch this.
Yes, they can. This is timeless. They'll be able to. This is a timestamp for your kids to see, and even possibly learn more about their mother.
I hope so. Everything I do, I'm trying to teach them more about me.
Your focus is, you know, you make sure you highlight God, your boys, and your poetry.
Well, yeah.
Am I wrong?
I mean, what are you asking me? I mean, what do you mean? That's what I always shout out.
I'm saying like that's what I receive from you and from knowing you. Like you always give credit to God, your boys, and your poetry.
Sure. Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of poetry, what got you into poetry? Like why? Well, first off, what got you into writing? And then why poetry?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what got me into writing, is probably the fact that when I was growing up, I was a little girl. I was an avid reader. I love reading
Okay.
books. I love reading, and when I was growing up in 1988,
Yeah, yeah.
if you was poor
Mhm.
in the South,
Yep.
I'm between Jackson and the Delta,
Mhm.
you know, Google some pictures, you'll understand.
Mhm.
But the way to escape or the way to experience was through books.
Yeah, man.
We had encyclopedias.
Yeah.
We had like Bibles.
Yeah.
We had romance. No, we had books.
Mhm.
And when you think about how important books have been, I mean, we understand the nuances of language and who wrote the books and what year it was and what were Black people doing. Of course, I like Tom Sawyer. It's fine.
Yeah.
Get to the root of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, just an example. But when I was growing up, that's what I did. I
Yeah.
played outside. I was a country girl, and read books and got into books, and nobody bothers you when you're reading
That's a
books.
fact. That's like quiet time. Like, do not disturb me while I'm reading this
Nobody's
literature.
gonna be like, "Hey, kids, stop reading that book and
Facts.
come annoy me." You know what I'm saying? So it's up. Books
Yeah.
are up. So of course, reading and developing language.
Mhm.
My grandma, my grandmas, my grandparents.
Shout out to the grandparents.
I was raised. I was born in 1988.
Yep. Yep.
I was raised. I knew my great grandparent. I knew my great grandma.
That's great.
My great grandma knew what I was doing at school. She
Word.
would ask me about my classes. She remembered.
Mhm.
So I was raised by generations, right?
Mhm.
So the value of things in different generations is going to land on you
Mhm.
by who is raising you, by proximity.
Mhm.
So because I was raised by my grandparents as well as my parents, my grandparents instilled things in me that were instilled by them, by their parents. And when you think about the state of Black people when their parents were being hopefully treated as human beings,
Mhm.
think about what they had to give their children as
Mhm.
a gift. I can't give you nothing but knowledge,
Yeah. Wow.
history,
Mhm.
storytelling, language, culture. Can't give you nothing but that.
Mhm.
Not that that is reduced to the least, because that is the most I can give you, but it's also the most that I can give you,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
But so I just said that to say that when I was coming up, the way I talk, what
Mhm.
I read, those things were important to my grandma and them
Mhm.
when we sat in church,
Mhm.
like with stockings and ruffles and slips and you know what I'm saying? And so I came up doing Easter speeches and programs.
Yeah.
I came up in the Black church, taught me
So
everything.
after search.
Everything. Yeah. It's everything. I got Kojic.
Yeah.
I got Missionary Baptist,
Mhm.
African Episcopal.
I can't say it either.
Because these my parents, my grandparents, my great grandparents.
A nice little spiritual
Yeah,
gumbo.
gumbo. And so in church, you got a job to do when it's
Mhm.
time to know what the children been doing.
Mhm.
I don't care about what the mother children doing. What you doing? You better say them books of the Bible.
Yeah.
And you gonna pronounce them correctly.
Come on.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And then in Jackson, that's in the Delta, but coming to Jackson, and auditioning for APAC or being like recognized as like you know, s- s- I was born in 1988, special or gifted kid.
Mhm.
Teachers would recommend you for certain things
Okay.
or certain programs. And at the time, I think Power APAC was the only performing arts school,
Mhm.
academic and performing arts complex in the area. I don't know, I was a kid, but I think so.
Mhm.
Um, and they offered like academic specialty, but also like performing arts. So they had theater, dance, music, and visual arts.
Mhm.
And when my family found out about the school, they were like, do you want to audition? Or maybe I asked them to audition. I remember I went to Boyd Elementary before that.
Okay.
So I was winning like art contests and like drawing like Martin Luther King Day pictures, and teachers would be like, she's kind of something different about her. And some kind of way APEC came across the thing, and my dad was like, you can audition for theater. I think I wanted to audition for dance.
Yeah.
But my dad was like, you can audition for theater. And if y'all ever heard of a man called Joe Jackson and he was born in the 80s, then you kind of, that's all the context
Like
I'm going to
that?
get. You know what I'm saying? And so I was auditioning for theater, and I learned a poem by Langston Hughes called Ballad of the Landlord.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a poem that my grandma had taught him.
Okay.
That he had performed as a young person. But I didn't know that at the time. All I know is my dad keep yelling at me about this poem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to say it right. You know what I'm saying? But I learned it as best as I could, and I went and I auditioned, and they were like, yeah, you in here. And I got in the theater arts program. And to like a lot of people's surprise, I really enjoyed being behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't audition for the play, like I wouldn't audition for the stuff. I want to be on the technical side. I wanted to run the lights.
Okay.
And the sounds, like stage manager type of stuff.
Okay.
But eventually they did made me get into a play, and I had to kiss a frog, a boy. And that boy, he never let me forget. Yeah. He never let me forget. You had to kiss me in a play, because actually at that time he was the boy that had the biggest crush on me.
Interesting.
And he was the boy that I liked the least.
He got his way.
And he was the frog in that play. And I remember the room was crowded. Everybody's parents were there. His parents knew he liked me. My parents knew that I couldn't stand him and that he was obsessed with me.
Yeah.
And everybody
What grade
was
is
there.
this?
This has got to be 4th grade.
Jesus.
It's 4th grade, because in APEC, well, back in the day, you could only go like 4th and 5th grade, and then middle school, high school. But yeah, I'll never forget. I could see that clear as day.
Yeah.
And he was a frog, and something about a frog princess or something. I remember him saying, ribbit. I was like,
how many times you screw up your face?
It was, and then he never let me forget it.
That is
anyway,
funny.
But that was Power APAC. But the next year,
talk to me.
I auditioned for dance.
Okay.
And I got in ballet. Yes,
I got
in ballet.
I knew it.
And I was able to do so many incredible things. I like dance with the American Ballet Theater.
Word.
I wanted to be a dancer, but born in 1988, you wasn't seeing that. You wasn't seeing that, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And so it was just like I went back and forth between those arts, theater and dance. And then I got in middle school, and I still did theater and dance, but my interests started to change.
Okay.
Because I was still an avid reader, but I was doing more writing. Okay. And I started off writing like journals, which are like short stories, right? Depending on the perspective. Mm-hmm. And so like short stories, I'm a writer.
Yeah.
And I like to write poetry, and I can perform spoken word. But as a writer, just writing stories. And at school, during the like poetry lessons, because in school you have curriculum, you're a teacher, and when you're going to get to a certain unit at a certain time, and this is what you're going to be working on, whenever we would get to poetry, I would excel. Glory to God. You know what I'm saying? I would excel at that. Now, also in the background, my dad is playing Run DMC and Grandmaster Flash on records, because you can't dance because you're going to scratch it up. Facts. So be still.
Vinyls are very fragile.
You know what I'm saying? But you better know these lyrics.
Yeah.
So that was all coming out in my writings.
Yeah.
And I would never mind sharing my writings. My classmates would get my writings and ask me to write things for them.
Okay.
Like, ooh, write this girl this little poem.
It's still 4th grade, or we higher now?
Oh, now we're like in middle school.
Okay.
Because I was saying my interest had changed from theater.
Yep.
And now we're in middle school, and I'm still reading, but I'm more writing now. And now people are finding out I'm a poet, because during the poetry units at school, I excel. And that's where everybody start getting their rocks off. Like, I need this poem for this girl.
Yeah.
I need this poem about this boy.
More than just a "Do you like me" letter.
Yeah. And it's just like, okay, y'all. But we were growing up with Nickelodeon and all that, where we was writing letters. Yeah, we was writing letters and folding them up into funny shapes and
Love
Playing
100%,
those,
hate 0.
like, what are those
I
things?
don't know, but I know what you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm saying? Those paper
Yeah.
things. Like, we were doing all of that. So in our middle school minds, like, communication was writing letters.
Mhm.
Well, we love passing notes. I
Mhm.
don't know about you. You're not that
Same.
much younger
I mean,
than
I'm
me. I mean, yeah, that's
1990.
what
I'm
I'm
right
saying.
there.
Yeah. But we love passing notes.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so I excelled at that because I didn't write. I didn't mind. I didn't care.
Mhm.
It's my handwriting. I wrote it. So
Mhm.
what? I wrote it for you. You still in trouble. so that would happen. And then I started to just like my own writing, just to
Mhm.
like it for myself.
Mhm.
And when we would have programs, because back in the day you would have school programs,
Okay.
right? Like the whole school would assemble in a place called an
For
auditorium.
sure. Coming
Okay.
to see you.
You would come into an auditorium at a school, and over the intercom, they had an intercom system where the lady in the office would pick up the phone and make
Thanks.
the announcement.
Yep.
And if you were a good kid or like president or something, you could go in there and make the announcement.
Mhm.
But if it was a if
Do
it
they
was
still
an
do that?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just
I
taking
wonder.
y'all. That's what I'm saying. I'm taking
That
them
is
on a
too
journey
funny.
though.
Yeah, a real life,
Like
like,
this
you're putting visuals in my
it's a
head. You're a
real
great
journey.
storyteller.
So with the school, thank you. With the
Yeah.
school announcements, you in class, you probably just got there because it's a morning assembly.
Mhm.
I ain't really try to assemble you in the afternoon unless it was a pep rally.
Thanks.
So in the morning assembly, you really be kind of glad because I just got here.
Yep. I ain't got to sit in class.
And now I get to see who came to school today.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So on those programs, you would have to have student involvement. So a student have to say the pledge, a student have to introduce the guests, a
Yep.
student have to, I am the 6th grade class president. Thank you for coming.
Okay.
But they would put me on the program, a poem. They would say poem, Amanda Furdge.
Come on.
Because whoever the teacher was in charge of planning assemblies, and back in the Gap, it usually would be that young teacher,
Mhm.
that fun teacher,
Mhm.
that one who's like, come on, y'all.
Yeah.
This is school. Let's have
Have
fun.
fun with it.
Or a veteran teacher who is an expert at identifying what's special about people.
Yes.
Either situation, they would always say, poem, Amanda Furdge on the program. And I started to, when I would write a poem, I would already know it.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't have to like read it off the paper. But that wasn't because I didn't want to. It was just kind of like, I don't
You're
really
good
need
at
this.
memory.
Yeah, I was just good at that. And so while I'm at the podium saying something, I'm talking to people. It was just all natural. Like I never was like, ooh, do this like this.
Yeah.
It was just like, what y'all want me to do? I'm like that today. What y'all want me to do? Okay, y'all want me to do this? Just come over here.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm only a tool. I'm only an instrument
Okay.
for what God is going to do anyway.
Talk to me.
So all I need to know is what in my flesh can I do to position myself for the spirit.
Mm.
And that was even happening back in the Gap in middle school because I'm just a student here and I'm writing back then to really escape. Like growing up in Jackson in the 90s, poor.
Mhm.
I had young siblings. My dad was sick.
Mm.
There was a lot of abuse and trauma, church trauma, religion, just so many different things.
Mm.
I could escape to writing the same way I was escaping to reading.
Mm.
So it's on my path. So for me to get up here and share my writings, whether or not you like it, I really won. I'm glad you like it though. But that also teaches me that, I'm not just writing for myself.
Yeah.
I'm writing for people.
Wow.
Wow, so many other people are having these same experiences. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm not the only one? Wow.
Mhm.
So that means you're not the only one. Well, you thought you were too until I said something. That means I need to say something. Because there's a lot of us out here talking about me too.
Yeah.
But everybody won't, for whatever reason, or can't, for whatever reason, say something. I say it.
Mm.
I take the risk. I'm a believer. I did it. It happened to me.
Mhm.
You ain't got to tell them your name. Show your face. It happened to me.
Yeah.
I do it. And then God just say, okay, do it over here. Do it like this.
Yeah.
They keep calling it spoken word. Well, call it spoken word.
They keep calling it
You
spoken
want to
word.
call it spoken word?
What would you call it? Or what was God saying to you that it is from your perspective or from the divine perspective?
Love.
Mm. Can't get, hey, okay.
It's love
Yeah.
because everything is love.
Everything is love. What is love, though?
Everything.
Mm.
I mean, that sounds so, but it is. It is the culmination
Mm-hmm.
of all of the things God feels necessary to make his point.
Mm. Okay.
And whatever his point is subjective to your perspective.
Hey. Yes.
Because I might say, I love oatmeal raisin cookies. And you might hear, she don't. But he might hear, oh my God, I need to try an oatmeal raisin cookie. And they might hear, oatmeal raisin cookie. And all I said was, I love.
Oh my God, you are so dope.
But that's how God is, though. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm not obedient,
Yeah,
if
come
I'm
on.
not in position, if I don't believe, if I can't, I'm just the instrument.
You the
You know what I'm
instrument, the
saying?
vessel.
And however you get it, I'm so happy for you.
Mm.
I'm so happy for you. And I encourage you to figure out why it resonated with you so much.
Wow.
And I make myself available.
Yes.
To tell you why it resonated with me so much. Because what I find a lot of times is that people just don't have language. And I just love words. And it just so happened that it's more words than I can keep to myself.
Mm.
So I gotta share them. Plus, the words are so good.
Yeah.
I want you to enjoy them. It's so many. And some words will give you eternal life.
Yes.
Eternal.
You about to have me crying in here. You talking real spicy right there.
You know what I'm saying?
I receive all of this.
Some words you don't even know exist that will touch you in a way.
Oh my God.
That make you love again.
Faith come by hearing, huh? What we hearing? Words.
It's some words that people don't even know exist that will have you forgive.
Okay.
And you will feel that forgiveness like it'll feel like a feather.
Yeah.
But there were some words keeping you bound.
Heavy.
You just gotta get more words.
Yeah.
But if I'm having that same experience and I'm developing a language, why wouldn't I share my language with you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we have words?
Share words.
Why wouldn't we have words? But the key is like the mastery of the right and good words. You need right words, good words. So yeah, for me, it's just words. And in middle school, I knew what words were doing for me on a personal level. And when I would share those words, the people around me would respond in a way. And the people the people who could position me to share my words would always do that.
Yeah.
And the more opportunities to share, I would always share until it just became just rhythm.
Came fluid.
Just rhythm. But in the meantime, though, growing up in Jackson back then, I was doing poetry. I was doing spoken word. But I also had like a little blues record.
Not the blues.
Yes, I had a little blues record.
I did not know this about you.
Yes, no, nobody knows.
Exclusive.
This is exclusive.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. I have a blues record. It's called Stressing Me.
Oh, man, I'm looking that up. I need that.
I might send it to you.
Yeah.
But I would perform at the festivals. All of the, back in the day, we used to have festivals, man. not just Farish Street, but like Georgetown, Verna Dish. I mean, we just have that's like pop up Saturday. Kenneth Stokes. Shout out to Kenny
Stokes.
I love Kenneth Stokes. That's
A
my
Jackson treasure.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't. Don't at me, Kenny Stokes. But what we could do, if he could get a stage,
Yeah.
and they'll set up the stage,
Come on.
hot dogs, a DJ, and it was just like that. And I performed in all of these community spaces. The blues record, poetry. I was also praise dancing because I grew up in the church, and
I can see that for sure. Yeah.
when you Black and in family reunion spaces, you always gotta have some kind of church something.
Yep.
You know, but the blessing is they don't be booing you off the church stuff.
That's a fact. You can be good or bad. You'll never know. They gonna clap anyway.
That's the glory of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? I was watching Apollo with a friend, and we just enjoyed. Like, I watch reruns of Showtime at the Apollo.
Okay.
I'm this person. I live in another time period. But we were just enjoying the fact on how, like, you can get out there, and no matter what you do, if you do a church song, they might grumble, but they gonna let
They'll sit through it.
They just laugh. They might grumble,
but
they not finna challenge the glory.
Man, that is too
they
funny.
Not.
That's a fact, though.
That is a fact. I'm telling you, go back, season, go back. I'm telling you.
So what's you streaming the Apollo on?
I think I'm watching it on either it's probably the Roku channel.
Okay.
Roku channel.
I ain't blessed with Roku. I'm gonna have to find.
You got a Roku?
way.
It's just a little tiny box.
Okay, cool.
You don't got one?
I don't.
I'm gonna have to bless you.
Okay.
Let the brothers help the brother get a Roku. You know what I'm saying? You need to make the point.
Roku.
But you know what? No, it was the sisters helping the brothers.
Come
so
on.
I'm gonna have to But the Showtime at the Apollo, it teaches you so much about Black culture.
Yeah,
you should
it does.
definitely
I watched it a lot as a kid.
Oh, go back
and
now
I've been
watch
watching I've been watching heavy, like Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, yeah. I've been watching Living Single.
Those are my comfort shows. Living Single for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, Regine was my crush.
Yeah, wow. You
Come
got
on.
good taste.
Thank you.
But it's important to tone your
insider.
You're supposed to mean with it. But
oh man.
You lose my train of thought.
But now the sharing of words and like you're explaining it so beautifully and like just being a well-rounded person. I'm still stuck on too what you mentioned about being able to be in a room with a priest with this person, with that person. You know what I mean? Like being born in 1988.
Yes.
You dig what I'm saying? And having the experiences that you have had over these years, you know, you've already given me the answer for real, what made you a well-rounded person. But I guess what I can say is, like, when did you realize that you had this ability? Was it in middle school when you like, hey, these kids want me to write these words for them? Was it being on the stage, you know what I mean, performing this poetry or performing your blues record? Because, I mean, you could be nervous and nobody can tell.
That tickled me.
Like, you got a certain aura and a certain spirit about you when you walk into the room. You know what I mean? Nobody can really tell if you're going through something unless you really say it. Facts. Every time I see you, you smiling. You like this. You could have the worst day.
Have mercy.
Talk to me.
Mercy. Well, Lord.
When did you realize you were so well-rounded? And what made you so strong to be able to, I don't want to say masquerade because that might sound bad, but like, I guess maybe cover up, you know, certain emotions and feelings to bless other people with your words.
Well, thank you for that roller coaster of emotions and flowers that you just gave me. It's so important to me because as a believer, I want to know how I'm showing up.
Man, yeah.
And it's important for me to preface that with as a believer because in my experiences, so many people are misinformed about what being a believer really is or what it really means.
Okay.
So it's so important for people to see and experience me
Mm-hmm.
because I know I'm a believer.
Mm.
I know I'm a believer.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is that I mean that I know that I'm doing what God wants me to do.
Oh man. How does that
What
feel?
he told me to do, what he tells me to do. That means that I have the assurance
Mm-hmm.
that comes from faith and believing that what God is saying to me in his word that I believe in is true.
Mm.
And it show up all the time.
Wow. Wow.
So to hear you say, like, there's this, to hear you say, to hear many people say, every time I say it, I just, Holy Spirit. Because it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really a vessel. Because you say, oh, you always smiling. I be smiling and keep on crying.
Word.
It's hard to love at the level it requires
Oh
to
man.
be a believer like I say I am.
Talking spicy.
And if you want to know what I say I am, I tell you.
Yeah.
But be ready.
Yeah.
And I hope it bless you because I want you to believe like this. You can live. I want you to live. Because that's all I'm doing. It look like this.
Mm.
A lot come with it. But for me, it's worth it. It's worth it for you to say, man, Amanda, I saw you the other day and it just changed my soul and you not even know what I've been
Word.
up to the minute I open my mouth to speak.
Hey. No cap. Like, you've blessed me in conversations that we've had over the year and a half, going on 2 years that I've known you. It's like
Maybe 3.
maybe yeah, you're right. Knocking on
I'm gonna
3.
say I've been praying for you for a while.
You have.
So for
And
maybe
I,
like 3 years.
and I appreciate it. A lot of people say
I'm
it.
proud of you. Yeah.
Thank you. A
Big
lot of people
proud.
actually say that, but like I know when you say it, I know that you actually are praying for
Yeah,
me.
we done it in Target.
Literally, we literally did.
Okay now.
We was in the middle of Target.
I'm telling you.
Praying.
When I tell people I'm praying for them, they got stories.
How did I even forget that? But it's just that whole visual just came back in my mind.
That's okay because it's good to me.
Yeah.
It's good for me to hear that you forgot it.
Mm.
Because I remember praying for you in that moment that whatever it was be lifted.
Yeah.
So if you saying you forgot it, my prayer was answered. I don't know. Go on,
Oh no.
I mean, not going on.
No, for sure. I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But nah, I lost my train of thought now, but
you was asking
even
me how
with,
I know. Oh.
Yeah. Because when we chat, it's like you're so tapped in. You say what needs to be said. And it does help me. And I'm sure those who have had conversations and experiences with Amanda can probably say the same thing.
But here's the thing. It's available to all of us.
What is?
All of us can love at this level of intention and integrity.
Yeah. Intention and integrity.
All of us can do that.
Is that all it takes to love is intention and integrity?
It takes everything to love. But for the sake of this conversation, what you feel, what I would describe what you feel and what people feel is my intention and my integrity.
Mm-hmm.
My intention is that whatever message you're supposed to be getting, that I help you get it.
Mm.
And my integrity is I am not finna say nothing or share nothing that I can't stand on.
Mm.
Or that is not a part of me or my experience. I can't. So much so that most of my sharing are those moments in my experiences that really belong in a journal.
Mm-hmm.
But here I am on the steps of the Capitol talking about abortions. But you a believer. Yes. And I've had abortion.
Mm.
And you love poem.
Mm.
You said it. You went and got some.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is true? Who is Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just moving in integrity and intention. And God will do the rest. Because that's what God knows my heart is. That's what God knows my heart is.
That's what God knows what my heart is. Wow.
That's also what God knows my heart is. You know, a lot of people like to say, God knows my heart.
Yeah.
All right. How do okay.
Go there. Come on. Go there.
Who is Drury? That who makes this microphone? This is nice.
Nah.
All right.
Go there.
Okay, so listen. Listen. So actually I know the moment where I realized where God showed me who I was.
Listen, I was getting there. So
I know the moment.
Let's go.
And it was only maybe a year ago.
Stop it.
It was only maybe a year ago.
What was that experience like?
I got invited to save the day at a work function.
Mm-hmm.
And the guest list was
Chef's kiss.
the guest list was heavy. The thing was, I would have been in the room anyway. That's what God will do.
Yeah.
I would have been in there anyway as a special invited guest.
Mm-hmm.
But I was on the operations side. But now I'm in the mix as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
But also what's happening is in this room is God is doing a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's putting people in power.
Mm-hmm.
And people in powerful positions where they should be.
Mm.
It's a blessing to be a part of that, right?
So, yeah.
And so for me to consider, now, God, what am I in this room for? Thank you, God, that I could have been in this room as a person that they considered a person of power or in powerful position to put people where they need to be. But you got me in here as a poet.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Yeah.
Because you know in my poetry, I don't really do that with these folks over here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and no shade. They have seen me at event, they rock with me, but I don't know.
Not in this setting.
I haven't experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
But Lord, okay, you do things your way. I'm with it. Let's see. They ask for it. They know me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know me like this. But if you said it, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being in my office before I went over there. And I was like, this feel different. This time, something about this feel real heavy. Like it felt like something. And I knew what I was just coming out of, like so many hard things.
Mm.
No, I got three sons that I parent with two hands.
Mm-hmm.
3 different people.
3 different people.
At all times.
Shout out to your boys.
Shout them out. But so doing that and then showing up as a sister and a daughter and a granddaughter. I'm a real active granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like in community, the different ways that I show up. And then things in your personal life that really, as a creative person, really drive a lot of your energy.
Yeah, so.
But I'm like, I'm coming out of this real heavy space, and this is where you want me to have my Moses moment.
Mm.
You know when Moses went to Pharaoh
Mm-hmm.
after he tried to give God all them excuses? Well, Lord, I can't this. Lord, I can't that. And Lord, I can't. And God was like, bang, 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 and take your brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when he finally got to Pharaoh,
yeah.
You up, this your moment. Like, and God said, drop the staff, it's going to turn to a snake, and you just kind of like, I know what you said. Is this it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is this it? So in that moment, it's just kind of like, you hear God say, I am that I am. And you say, okay, I will or I will go. And I went into that space And I was in the room and, people were glad to see me. They had no idea that I was finna get up there and do anything. But I'm just enjoying the people in the room. And I'm just getting like this calm assurance over me. Like, what are you worried about? What are you anxious about? What are
Yeah.
you do it now? I could just kept hearing like, do it now. And I'm like, do what? But it's like, do it now. So when I got up there, they gave me this really lovely introduction. And I was like, okay, well, let's get into it. And I presented this poem. And as I was performing the poem, this is the first time that this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I know it now.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the people experience me. So, like, prior to that, when I was performing,
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of noisy
Mm-hmm.
in your head. You're just trying to get through it. You might feel things. You might feel sweaty, anxious. You just can't really connect with the moment
Mm-hmm.
because you really want to get to the other side of the moment because those moments are so intense.
Yeah.
And even if you built for them, there's still a level of pressure that is on you while you are in that moment,
Sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in that moment, that's why it's important for you to get a recording so you can see because you know what you was feeling in that moment, right? But you can't articulate that.
Yeah.
When you see it, you'll know, right? So in that moment, instead of me being too chaotic in my head about getting through the moment, I was able to be fully present in the moment.
Mm.
It was almost like they were a part of a rehearsal
Yeah.
for me. And when I rehearse, this could be a rehearsal for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm very conversational, very, like, everybody in here is reading my journal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'm in that moment experiencing that, and I'm just like, "Oh, is this?" And he was just like, "I told you."
Yeah.
And so when I came out of that moment, it was a standing ovation.
Mm-hmm.
They was standing up in every performance since then been a standing ovation. That's glory to
Word.
God.
Wow.
And I wanted to keep that in my mouth, but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
Thank you for sharing.
And that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Cause every time the people stand up, I never get to see them stand up because I be so busy trying to get out the way. And when I get to look back, I be like, they was standing up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for me because that was not me. Because I know what I was doing in that moment. I know I was surrendering.
Mm.
So me knowing I was surrendered in that moment, that people got so enthralled that they stood to their feet to me said, I'm just an instrument.
Wow.
I'm just an instrument. So when people like, Amanda, how you do it? Or what you be like, I just do yoga. I just do some yoga.
It's years of work and dedication without knowing that you were working and being dedicated. You know, something to serve as an escape for you as a child. And then even throughout this, your ability to share words and through the medium of poetry and conversation, if you would, that's still like in my mind, hearing that you're paying your inner child a visit every time.
And I just became friends with her last year
God damn it.
at this same time. It all go together.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? I think about that Bible verse. You have to become like childlike in order to see like the kingdom of God. I'm probably butchering it.
Read your whole Bible, it's in there.
I'm butchering it, but it's somewhere along those lines. Like becoming childlike to the point where then you'll be able to see
What you talking about?
these very things of God, the kingdom of God. You will receive like a heaven on earth if you would.
Yes.
So,
What I do know is that for me, I recognized that I had to become the most vulnerable to receive the love that I needed to give on purpose. I always been loving. I've always been a loving person. Love, it, I, there are layers to love,
For sure.
levels to
For
love,
sure.
but love is something everybody's equipped with,
Yeah.
right? Just express it in different ways. There may be a man who never wants to talk to a human being, but loves animals. Still love.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the gift for me has been in being so intentional about the way that I love that I'm able to meet people wherever they are so that they can feel love or have some kind of experience with love. Because that's really all it is. I really do love you. And I say that in a poem. I'm like, it's not because people act like some things are like so easy and fun. But it's our work.
Yeah. Love is work.
It's my work
Yeah.
to love you.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I accept that work. A lot of people know what the work is. They just don't accept it. They don't have to. You don't have to accept the work. I accept the work because I want the reward. Why do I want the reward? Because I understand what the reward is. Why does that kind of reward excite me?
Yeah.
Well, I encourage you to just find out for yourself. It might excite you too. But why does it excite me? It's because I believe. I believe in it. I believe in it.
Wow.
It worked for me. It worked for me. It's apparently working for you. So I'm willing to do it. And it wasn't until I said, you know what? Every time I dabble in this, I like the results. Why don't you just stop dabbling if you can have the results all the time?
Ooh.
What? Give God some of my time? Give God some of my time?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, what? Give God,
Yeah.
the maker of me, some of my time?
Yeah.
And the time I give him is for me? That's the thing. Like,
It's for you, yeah.
it's for me.
That's a fact.
So go get my gift. Make time to go get my gift. I'm going to get my gift every time as often as I can. And you mean to tell me if I do forget or don't or whatever, the gift is always available? Always? That's great.
That's crazy.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
I need that.
Sheesh.
Because I'm flesh and I know what I'm finna do.
Yeah. I've never heard it put so beautifully. That was amazing. That's like...
Go get your free gift.
Oh, my God.
Go get your free gift. Go get your love.
Go get your gift. Go get your love.
Go get your love. Because what you're going to find out...
through it all.
That's what you're going to find out is that the gift is love. It really is. Because the love is forgiveness. The love is comfort. The love is the spirit of perseverance. The love is favor. Love is faith. It's all those things that you need on a day-to-day basis. Love is what make you hit the button on your car key, expect it to work, and expect it to unlock the car, and you expect for your door to open, and you expect to sit down and your seat not fall to the floor, and you expect to be able to turn the car. All those expectations are informed by something. What could it be?
Wow.
Taylor Bell had a song called Somebody Love You.
Oh, a jam. Classic record.
Whoa. But yes, that's it. That's all. I don't know. I don't know what else people want to know about me.
Oh, man.
I love talking to people, though.
You just gave, like...
I don't know. I don't know
A
what I done said.
blueprint.
What did I say? I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch it and
You
see.
look, when you play this back,
I'm gonna have to
I
watch it
think
and
you're gonna be
see.
proud of
I
yourself.
don't know. I might feel
Me
silly.
being on the receiving end of this, and I know people out here are going to thoroughly enjoy
I hope so.
this conversation.
Listen, y'all, I hope it makes sense, and I'm, willing to take your questions if you are respectful.
For sure.
If you are respectful.
For sure.
And if you have to wonder what she meant, then you already disqualified.
Out of there.
You out of there. But I'm so excited for you and your platform, for making space for me to come on here and say what I believe.
Yeah.
Because you have to be on your path.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing such a brilliant, beautiful job raising your
that.
daughter.
Thank you.
I love what you activate in me because I get to see you raising your daughter. And like I just told you, I just reconciled with the little girl in me.
Mm-hmm.
So having that means something to me, especially when I hear what I mean to you. Because you don't mean knowing. You're supposed to know. I tell you when to pray for me. You always pray. But you know what I'm saying? So to know that the word, because it's scripture in the Bible that's like, don't tell people when you're fasting.
Facts, yeah.
You're not supposed to be. There's some people say, you look so, you ain't supposed to be able to tell, because that's how you know it's the Lord. Because if you look like me, you'll never believe.
Wow.
If you was only depending on me, you'll never believe. You'll never believe I'm not worthy.
Wow. That's heavy. Before, wow. I'm sure before we.
Yeah, now.
Listen, man. I knew that this was gonna be good. Thank you for making time. Yeah, I do want to know what you're reading.
Yeah, I'm reading.
Talk to me.
Circle of Fire.
I love
everybody's
that
favorite author.
Yeah, 4 Agreements.
Oh wait.
For sure.
Oh yes. Okay. Yep. Circle of Fire.
Yeah.
I'm always interested in better ways to serve. I love to serve. I'm a servant. And so serving for me is the way that I know that I'm on my path. And so you need tools and language for that. You need to learn. You can't just serve out of your own mind, because you only have your own perspective, your own ideas. So you have to learn how to serve, which means you have to learn how to communicate, which means you have to communicate with people. But that all comes with practice, right? So I read different languages, different styles of reaching people emotionally and mentally and intellectually. And I just take my own knowledge, and then whatever you're supposed to have in that moment, you'll be able to recall it. That's why you should read. So you can recall things. But yeah, also humble inquiry. This is so good. It's a way. A lot of times we think we're asking people stuff, but we really telling them. What? And we wonder why people are responding to us or not responding to us a certain way. Right. So it's important to learn the art of questions and inquiries, and how to build better relationships by communicating better.
Add that to my library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Communication is the key.
It is the key.
Treat everybody like children. Treat everybody like children. And you will find a way easier way. If you pull up and cut me off at the gas pump, and on my way to catching myself from cussing you out, I have this one single thought. You're just throwing a tantrum. Kids throw tantrums all the time.
That is very interesting.
I can find me another pump, because if it's got him acting like that, I don't want nothing to do with it anyway.
Yeah.
Got you. We at the gas station, my brother.
Yeah.
You got something going on. I might need to go to a different gas station. But perspective, like it really, even down to the science of like when children are still developing language.
Yes.
So it may not be a behavior. It may be a communication style. I still approach you childlike, not childish, but childlike, then they can help you. You know what I'm saying? Gentleness, kindness, love. Okay.
All the things.
Yes.
Oh my God. I want you to bless us though
What you want, some poems?
with a poem and a prayer.
Let's
If
see.
there's not too much pressure.
That is a lot of pressure.
Share your words.
Let me see what the good doctor. Let me see because you know what? I also try to make it a point to like display and showcase the different styles of poetry
Okay.
because in my acceptance of being a poet, it's a community. I come from Gil Scott Heron. I come from the last poets. I come from poetry community family.
Yeah.
Which is still very much a thing, as you can see with like spoken words at the Grammys and all these types of things. So I just said that to say that even though I perform my poetry a certain way, sometimes it's many different ways that poetry can be read. At the White House, you read it from the podium out of a notebook with your poems in a clear piece of paper. But in the streets of Jackson, Mississippi, you could just say poems off the top of your head. So I was gonna read a poem out of a book like a nice poet, like this, and that can be done. I ain't gonna do that. All right. So which one?
Right here.
Look, y'all, I just appreciate you for the many times that you pointed to that camera. I wrote this verse for the times I just wanted to be inspired. By day trying to create, at night trying to get hired. Who's supposed to tell you you can go higher? Heartlessly working corporate, always knew I was a writer, always ended up fired. Too creative for a cubicle. Too creative for a cubicle. What's the point in profit if you just gonna lose your soul? You be trying not to lose control, especially when it be seeming like you and life just ain't that compatible. And speaking of compatibility, well, my phone, I got a new phone number. But speaking of compatibility, my old phone was full of numbers of exes still mad at still mad at me. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. A great poet once said that it's hard to write when you ain't inspired and your soul tired, but your people need a word. And I concur. And I try to use the most rejuvenating nouns and verbs to pick myself back up again. Every time you see me, I'm emotionally and spiritually hustling for something better than dough or change. I'm hustling for the legacy and the rights to my name. I hustle every day for my inheritance. I hustle harder than that rapper Rick Ross when I share my gift. I understand I'm a goddess. You usually find me in the back pretty modest, but I'm learning that when you down, ain't nobody gonna pick you up the way that you can. Not that Rocky Road ice cream. Your fine best friend, even your own hand, you gotta come to realize that when you jump out of the plane of insecurities into the sky of courage on the fertile soil of beautiful, you are sure to land. See, the time is right for my soul to take flight, but come with me and get yours. I'm trying to unlock closed doors. I be searching for freedom. As cliche as it sounds, y'all, I be praying and crying, realizing most exes come before the wise for a reason. But I've decided there'll be no more mental treason. I'm a big girl now. Pulling off my pull-up so I can pull up in style. I take my Flintstone vitamins. Flintstone vitamins with a smile. See, I'm a big kid now. Welcome to Bedrock. My heart was on lock, but I put the key down and started making payments toward peace of mind. I grind every day for the ability to just take life one day at a time. When I'm hungry, I get full off a buffet of poetic lyric and rhyme. See, my mama said I'm intricately designed. My daddy said genius and insanity are divided by a very thin line. But my grandma know I have no desire to know which one am I, because regardless, I'm going to shine, tell the truth like it's going out of style tomorrow. I say keep your dollar common sense, because I will no longer need to borrow. And since this revelation has since gained scent, I sense this triumph to be one of my greatest feats, even when I can't see him. The streets of gold at my feet.
Mm.
They say most joy is fleeting, but not mine, because mine comes to me in the form of poetry, and she always seemed to come at the perfect time. And that made me like a rhyming apparatus. To live in chaos is madness. But when it's hard and you want to give up, you got to go for your dreams anyway. Go for your dreams.
Mm. Oh, my God.
Because when you overcome and prosper, it's going to make for a lovely day.
Yeah. Oh, man. Amanda Furdge.
Y'all make sure y'all
Ladies and gentlemen.
Show 7, his mama was on TV.
Oh, man. Amanda Furdge.
I'm so excited to be
made
here.
It to the hey.
I made it.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. I hope that this is something.
Oh, man.
I really do.
This is bigger than something.
I really
This is bigger than us. Somebody,
Sure.
everybody that views this, I think it's gonna be blessed majorly.
I'm saying just be yourself.
Yeah.
But give God his credit.
Come on.
Be yourself. But give God his credit. And when you giving God his credit, you gonna change.
Yeah.
But you worried about the way you gonna change. You can't even see. You didn't make you. So that's all I'm saying, man. That fake pity pat, you gonna be only what you do for God will last.
Ooh.
Only what you do for God will last.
All right. So Amanda, one last thing before we check up out of here. Let people know where they can follow you, contact you, book you, okay? All the things in this camera right here.
Okay. You can follow me on Twitter if you so prefer. You can contact me by using the booking form in my bio on Twitter or Instagram. There's a booking form there, and there's like an About Me link tree or something where you can find out all about me. I'm not only Amanda Furdge. I'm the only one. So you can type that into your Google search engine, and I wish you peace on whatever you find. But if you want to follow me, I have a Twitter. And if you want to book me, contact me. If you can make it past that booking form, I'm with it.
Amanda Furdge, ladies and gentlemen.
Amen.
Listen, once again, my name is Kimar Cain, coming to you all the way live. Your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend. You just tapped into another episode of Mental Shampoo. All right? Until next time, y'all. Peace and blessings, love and respect.
Love and respect.
Mental Shampoo is recorded and produced at KD Creative Arts Media Studio in Jackson, Mississippi. If you're interested in taking your video and audio quality to the next level, reach out to the people here at KD Creative Arts Media Studio. If you want to grow and monetize your podcast, this is the place to be. Visit kdcreativearts.com today.